I'm here with Brendan and Evelina McDonough, who have lost their home to an order by South Dublin County Council. Brendan, can you tell us what's happened since we met you last in November? I believe at that stage you were hoping to make an appeal to the High Court.
I was, but it was over Christmas period and the time wasn't with us. A lot of solicitors were on annual leave and they still were up till the day before we got back into court, so I couldn't even get legal representation. Basically, I was either go to prison or take the house down, and Evelina's anxiety was just going through the roof and it wasn't worth doing this any further. We did put in a hell of a fight, but it wasn't good enough. And then, we tried our best to everything with the council over the years to try and have something to try and comply to everything they wanted us to do to get a permission sorted, but everything was just a constant refusal. So we're stuck now. This is it. This is the end game. We have nothing. They didn't care. There's nothing about with the safety of children or anything. There's nothing. That doesn't come into the factor. Take your house down, but we don't have anything for you. We don't have anywhere to go. You have nowhere to go with your family. I don't know how they can get away with this. Like, if you've done this to an animal, there'll be prosecutions. But it's okay to do it to a family. A newlywed family. Actually, we were only 3 months married and we were made homeless. And then for a friend of ours put us up in his home, we wouldn't have anywhere to go and our kids would see a different light to this world. So we're trying to protect them from that.
And the last time we were speaking, you told me that it was 8 years ago that you first approached South Dublin County Council in need of housing. Is that correct?
It is. We didn't just build a log cabin because this is what we wanted to do. Nobody sets out to live in a log cabin. With the price of property and price of rent, it's unaffordable for a working class family. It's just well unaffordable. And we went to the council over 8 years ago, to put our name on a housing list. We were told we didn't qualify for that because I was just earning over the odds, which was roughly around €600 a week. So about €600 a week, you're supposed to pay $2,000 a month rent. But they failed us on that, and then we said, can we apply for some sort of HAP scheme to help us rent? We didn't fit the criteria for that either. So basically, I'm left with a young child with nowhere to live and refused from the authorities. That's when I decided to build this. And we stretched everything we had to get into this. And after that then, they come after us for 8 years. No free legal aid for the last 8 years. It was an absolute drain on our financials. 8 years ago, we're here now 8 years later after fighting umpty, and I can't think about how many times we've been in that bidding court over the last 8 years. And then I'm expected to pay my legal team, their legal team as well. And even the judge looking for 5,000 off me, it's sort of like trun me to say that you took everything from us, you took our home, you don't care, there's no accommodation for the kids, the council have nothing to offer me, but you want me to pay you to destroy me as well.
Just on that, you mean the judge sought South Dublin County Council's legal fees? That was around $5,000.
Yeah, South Dublin's legal fees were over 5,000 for this time, and the judge dropped it to €2,000 because of our situation, which I think it shouldn't have been anything at all, since they left us with penniless, with no home and no security for our family or for our kids or anything. It just to do that to people at this day and age, while you house four corners of the earth here, they come here with nothing and they live a better life within 3 to 6 months than people that's lived here all their lives.
And Evelina, you told me off camera that you haven't brought your little son and daughter up yet. How are you coping with this?
Well, I haven't brought them here, and I don't think I will soon, because they will be heartbroken to see their little home being just gone. It's just, even I can't even look at that in the back. It's just so heartbreaking moment. And I just feel burnt out completely at this point. There is no chance and no hope that I'm going to dedicate in this situation anymore my energy. I think it's just time to move on and just leave it behind me, because I can't do it anymore.
I know that, from people writing into us at Gript and from stories that we hear, that there are a lot of people living in houses and cabins like this who are not able to secure conventional housing, many of whom it's for the same reason as you stated yourselves. But what would you say to people who are in a similar situation as your family?
Well, I hope it's not many out there, people in that situation, because I wouldn't wish anybody to be in a situation like that. But I don't know. To be honest with you, you have hope in a certain up to some moment, and then it's just everything is just gone, like, because you seems to be going in circles, and I don't know what I would actually advise people in a situation like that, because it looks like there's no help whatsoever. Nobody really wants to care about people anymore, like, so that's the world we're living in.
And Brendan, you told me that having the cabin taken down cost quite a lot of money. How much did it cost?
The final figure obviously is not in yet. We have to pay the lads that took it down. I think it's 6,000 or 7,000, but then you have skips. Then we're still not finished. There's a lot here to be done. There's storage to be done then as well. We have to find somewhere to put that, or else we can sell it quick enough. And look at it. It's not very advertising there now. It's just seems like a lot of money was spent and wasted and no zero outcome. And I didn't do this for any other reason. Wasn't doing it for profit. I wasn't building it to rent it. We were building it to survive. That's all anyone can do in this country now, survive. When your average house price is going from 300 to 500,000 for a house, and then you're only allowed to borrow from the bank at a certain rate of 4 times your income. There's no houses going for 120 to 160, 170,000. They're realistic prices. The prices now are just like you nearly want to become a millionaire to buy a house now. And we're letting investment firms come in from all over the world, and they can just invest in this and jack all our prices up for rent, which exceed our incomes. That's no way for a country to live. We're just waiting on a crash, really.
And maybe it's a stupid question, but what's next for you?
We don't know. There's we haven't got a clue. We're still looking for a place to live as a family, to be able to put this behind us and settle us. 8 years was an awful long time to have this hanging over our head. Our kids have been through enough. I've been through enough. Evelina's been through enough. We just need to move on. We just can't keep doing this, And there's a cousin of mine set me up. I just found out this morning. She set up a GoFundMe page. I don't know anything about it. She just said it to me, but I don't even know what that'll just help pay for this, to get this put back to the way it was, and maybe give us a bit of breathing space so we can finally just relax for a couple of months, and please God we get something decent, that we can just be a family and stop getting them letters through the door constantly of threats, because they have endless resources to keep sending you letters and keep giving you court dates. They have a pot of money that won't go down because it's our money, it's taxpayers' money being used against you, and I can't even get free legal aid to give it a good fair fight, So.
And obviously the cabin has been dismantled, but the remains of it are still here. Is the council satisfied with this now, or are you to get this away as well?
Oh, I'd imagine I'd have to get this away as well. Sure, whoever reported me would be looking to say I think this would be more of an eyesore than what was already here, but this would all have to go regardless.
Because this is land your family owns.
Yes, this is our family land, but that doesn't seem to matter there. We're not safe anywhere like nowadays. If the government cannot seem to provide, and I had to provide on my own back, which I didn't mind doing. I stretched myself no matter what way I could to provide something that they couldn't do. Then they come and take it from me, and then leave me with nothing again 8 years later. It's like, who are this? Who is this establishment? What did you think they can do this to people, to families? No, you can't do this to kids. You can't do, we didn't want to do this, but we had no alternative, and they still don't have an alternative. And there's housing lists here, there's people on housing lists in Ireland 10, 20 years, and there's people coming to this country in the last 3 years and they've all jumped and skipped. So there is no housing list. It's only like a housing skip. It's like, where you're from, okay, you get the house before someone else. There is nothing fair, nothing makes sense anymore, especially here, especially when it comes to authorities. It's more power they get, the more they abuse it. Fatima, we'd just like to thank everybody that sent their kind messages and all the support that we got through the lovely people of Ireland, saying that they were going to, they're behind me, they're watching the story. Thank you very much to everybody. Thanks very much to all my close family, relatives. That's all supported myself and Evelina. And thanks very much to yourselves, Gript, because other than this would have never seen daylight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a million.